Hello, my friend, wherever you are. I'm sending you love, the power of positivity, and vitamin D. The sun is setting, but you can definitely see it. Okay, my friend. Welcome to the Gazillionaires Club, and it's a continuation of the previous video, why I choose not to follow anyone. Meaning, I just don't follow people. If they tell me to jump off the bridge, chances are I'd be like, I can help you with that. I can push you off the bridge. Why would I jump off the bridge? You crazy? But my friend, so, recently, right? Okay, you know how I mean, you can't really ignore this topic if you live in America. You can't really ignore Donald J. Trump. Whether you like him or you hate him, he's everywhere, and he might be running for president in 2024. But, you know how I feel about President Trump, right? I feel like, when he became president, he shook up everything in the White House, and he shook up all the politicians, business people, world leaders, and he took a lot of heat for it. And I can understand, I understand, like, even the people around him, his family, like, everything was going against him, right? And I was like, man, he's legit. And even up to this point, I think he's legit. He's not part of the swamp that he, that he said he's going to drain. And, so I'm giving you an example why, like, you should work on yourself before you choose to follow anyone. Because when you follow someone, because I feel like in life, not everyone is going to know everything. And when you choose to, like, follow people to the end of time, don't be a dumb bitch. And so there are a few things that I want to bring up, okay? The first one is that during COVID, he did sign into law Operation Warp Speed. And, if he didn't do that, I'm pretty, my take on it, meaning that, pharmaceutical company will hold out. We will still be living in fear. Even though these vaccines are deadly, but I think there is a different game plan. At least he mentioned hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin. And, as of this point, we know that people die from it, right? It's actually not good. It's, like vaccines are shit, put it this way. But time and time again, even up to this point, like, he would still claim that, like, I helped millions of people. Maybe he did from whichever perspective, I don't know. But now we know that people are dying from vaccines. So that's one point, right? And I was like, man, you took a lot of heat. So I just kind of take it with a grain of salt. Even this topic, I'm taking it with a grain of salt, okay? And then the other thing was Bitcoin. I remember when he was in office, Bitcoin is a scam, and that's why the crypto space doesn't like him. And I was like, okay, because I understand being president, you don't have the authority, right? He did the best he could, took a lot of heat for it. And, and like I said, I always try to see the good in people. And recently, the other thing that came out with the Texas shooting, I heard it from Dr. Ron Paul. Like, they came out with the, it's like a law. It's like a red flag laws. And what it does is supposed to confiscate guns from people illegally because they're infringing on the Constitution. And and like he endorsed it, and it wasn't like recent. I went and I looked it up on YouTube. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he endorsed the red flag laws for guns about 2 years ago when he was in office, right? And I remember, like, the reason why, like, the MAGA movement, the base, because he said he's for the Constitution and the Second Amendment. That was part of the speech, right? And I know in politics, I know in business, you have to play dirty, meaning that you cannot be honest all the time, because if your enemies, know that you're honest, then, it's kind of like playing chess. You can't tell people your every move. And, and that's why I choose not to go into politics, not even like, follow people in the realm of, actually in the realm of anything. That's why I choose to work on myself. And the reason is, my friend, now whether, President Trump had good intention or bad intention when he said that vaccines, he helped millions of people, and, he took credit for Operation Warp Speed, we know that people die from it. Okay, I often ask myself, is, in order to play this game or in order to win the battle, like, do we have to sacrifice people for a greater good? Because believe it or not, things that he said with the amount of followers that he has, when he says that vaccines are safe and he helped millions of people, there are people that, probably going to listen to it and then took his advice, take the vaccine and die. So sad, so sad. And it doesn't matter how we twist it, in my view, okay? I honesty for me is like compassion, honesty, and whether you say things intentionally or unintentionally and it end up harming people, it's better not to say it. And that's why I know for a fact that I have no place in politics. I have no place in business. I joke around, and when I'm lying. And but with the Buddha's teaching, simply, if the thing that you say is not helpful, then don't say it, because it's like you're killing people with with the things like you're saying. And that's the reason why, my friend, like, I, as much as I understand what he's doing, at the same time I can see, because everything in life have a cause and effect, right? And even as of right now, some of the things that he said, I'm a little bit skeptical. But then when I look at the grand picture, the people that he's dealing with, they are probably the worst kind of people, like the worst, okay? And if he doesn't do that, I mean, in my opinion, Dr. Ron Paul in 2012, he should have been president, but with the way he is, he's never gonna make it. He's never gonna make it to be president. He's too nice. He's outspoken, but he's too nice. And he doesn't, the way, a lot of the things that Trump does is for marketing. During the 4 years when he was president, hate him or like him, you know him. And I do have to admit, he woke a lot of people up, okay? Because if he didn't come into office, America would be gone, okay? So I do have to give credit where credit is due, and look how beautiful that is, my friend. Oh my God. So back to the if you are going to follow someone, eventually one day there is going to be disagreement. You have to find out, your principles, your integrity, your virtue. What are they?
Ketchup and beer, soy sauce and milk, Hennessy and weed. I grabbed them by the pussy.
And instead of placing those on other people, do it on yourself, you know. And in my opinion, that's the way to go. Because, you know, I feel like when people say something and they don't do it, it's just like, why say it in the first place? But then at the same time, you know, everyone is living a different life, right? I can sit here and criticize President Trump all I want, but the thing is, I don't live his life. I don't know the kind of people he's dealing with. I just know on the surface that he's dealing with very bad people. These are people that willing to say anything, willing to kill anything. Babies, women, children, men, innocent people. These are the kind of people we're dealing with. And I understand. But then at the same time, I'm also disappointed that, you know, he kept on saying that vaccines, you know, he helped millions of people. Maybe he did. I don't know. But we know for a fact that people die from this shit, okay? And, you know, and that's where it gets me a little, and it, you know, it makes, like, at this point, I'm more aligned with who I am. I understand people do the things that they do. So that's why I don't put all of my emphasis, you know, on other people, but me, right? And you should do the same thing, my friend. So wherever you are, you know, actually make a video. Let me know, you know, use the hashtag Gazillionaires Club and let me know, have you ever looked up to someone and then, you know, and or you follow a cause, right? You follow a cause and then that leader or the person that in charge of the movement, you know, do a 180 or even a 360 on you. How do you feel, right? But other than that, my friend, let me know, because I share you pretty much all of my life, you know. I think if we are going to, you know, to rally people, we have to be honest. And if we can be honest, man, it's come to the point where, like, you know, if you confuse your followers, if you confuse people about who you are, you know, when there's mixed messages, it's you know, it's not going to be stable. You know, the foundation is not going to be stable. That's just my take on it. So my friend, apparently there are a lot of people exercising on this road, but that is Oaxaca back there. Let me see if I can get on the other side. But right now the sun is setting, and so this is only a portion of Oaxaca, like, you know, so it's gonna be a memorable moment for me. So let me know, my friend. I will see. Oh my God, this is like the kingdom of heaven. So I will see you in the next video, my friend. Tada. Buenas noches.